Neymar was supposed to be the one, the heir to Messi and Ronaldo, the man destined to wear the crown of world football. But now, a €90 million move to Saudi Arabia, injuries, a club already looking to replace him, his legacy uncertain, his career questioned, his story a tragedy in the making. So how did it come to this? How did a player with the world at his feet become the biggest what-if in modern football? This is the curse of Neymar. To understand his downfall, we have to go back to the beginning, to the place where it all started, Brazil, 2003. Brazil has always been a land of footballing magic. Pelé, Zico, Romario, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, legends who played the game like artists with a brush. And in the early 2000s, a new name was whispered in the streets of Sao Paulo. Neymar. Even as a kid, he wasn't just good, he was different. At Santos, he didn't just score goals, he played with swagger, audacity, and that signature Brazilian flair. He embarrassed defenders. He made the impossible look easy. By the time he was 14, he was already on Real Madrid's radar. A European contract was on the table, the dream of every South American wonder kid. But Neymar did something almost unheard of. He said, no. Why? Why turn down the biggest club in the world at such a young age? The answer would shape his entire career. Neymar had the golden ticket, a contract with Real Madrid, the chance to follow in the footsteps of Zidane, Ronaldo, and Beckham. But instead, he stayed in Brazil. Why? Because of Santos, because of home, because he believed his destiny wasn't to be another young Brazilian lost in Europe, but to become a legend first. And he didn't just prove he belonged, he dominated. By 17, he was already a first-team starter. By 18, he was the best player in Brazil. By 19, he had led Santos to their first Copa Libertadores title in nearly 50 years, the same trophy Pelé once won. But while Neymar was becoming a superstar in Brazil, the world was waiting. European giants were circling. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United. Every club wanted him. But Neymar had a dream. Would he stay in Brazil and become a domestic icon? Or would he take the leap and chase footballing immortality? It was the goal that shook the world. The goal that made Neymar a household name beyond Brazil. 2011, Santos versus Flamengo. Neymar receives the ball, surrounded by defenders. A flick, a sprint, a cut inside, another flick, goalkeeper beaten. The ball rolls into the net. That goal won him the FIFA Puskas Award. But more than that, it proved he wasn't just a talent. He was the next big thing. And the biggest clubs in the world had seen enough. They weren't just interested in him more, they were desperate. Real Madrid wanted revenge for missing out on him at 14. Manchester City saw him as their next Galactico. But one club had the perfect plan. Barcelona didn't just want Neymar. They needed him. The stage was set. Neymar was about to step into the biggest challenge of his life. This was it. The moment Neymar had been waiting for his whole life. A dream move to Barcelona. A club built on beautiful football. The perfect place for a magician like him. But there was one problem. Neymar wasn't coming to Barcelona to be the star. Someone else already ruled the throne. Messi wasn't just the face of Barca. He was the face of football. The greatest of all time. And Neymar? He was the apprentice. But Neymar didn't just want to follow in Messi's footsteps. He wanted to carve his own path. And with the help of one of the deadliest attacking forces in history, he was about to do just that. Could this trio conquer Europe? Or would Neymar's hunger for the spotlight become his downfall? Barcelona wasn't just a team. It was a dynasty. And now, Neymar had his chance to prove he belonged. But he wasn't alone. Enter Luis Suarez, the relentless, goal-hungry striker fresh off a record-breaking season at Liverpool. With Neymar's flair, Suarez's ruthlessness, and Messi's genius, a new era was born. And they didn't just click, they destroyed defenses. In their first season together, they scored 122 goals, more than entire clubs managed in a season. And then came the ultimate test, the Champions League final, Juventus versus Barcelona. The treble on the line. Could Neymar step up on the biggest stage? This was the moment Neymar had dreamed of. The biggest stage in club football. A chance to write his name in history. Juventus versus Barcelona. 90 minutes. One shot at glory. Barcelona struck first. A beautiful team move. Rakitic found the net. 1-0. But Juventus refused to back down. And suddenly, everything was on the line. Neymar knew This was his moment to step up. Then, Suarez pounced. A rebound. A goal. 2-1 Barcelona. And in the dying seconds, Neymar broke free. One-on-one with Buffon. Time slowed. One strike. One goal. And with that, it was over. Barcelona were champions of Europe. At just 23 years old, Neymar had done it. He had conquered Europe. He had delivered the treble. But in that very moment of triumph, a new challenge was born. He had won it all. But could he ever step out of Messi's shadow? Neymar had won everything. The Champions League. The treble. He was at the peak of his powers. But one thing still eluded him. The Ballon d'Or. The crown of football's best player. No matter how well he played, no matter how many trophies he won, Messi was always ahead. And deep down, Neymar knew, at Barcelona, he would always be number 2. He wasn't just playing alongside Messi, he was living in his shadow. So he made a decision that would change everything. If he was ever going to win the Ballon d'Or, he had to leave Barcelona. He had to become the face of his own team. He had to escape Messi's shadow. But where do you go when you're already at the top? This wasn't just a transfer. It was a statement. A €222 million declaration that Neymar was ready to be the main man. The most expensive signing in football history. The highest paid player in the world. The centerpiece of a new football empire. In Paris, Neymar wasn't just another star. He was the star. The player expected to bring PSG their holy grail, the Champions League. And at first, it looked like the gamble had paid off. Goals, assists, magic. Neymar was unstoppable. He was finally out of Messi's shadow. But football isn't just about talent. It's about moments. And when the biggest moments arrived, Neymar wasn't there. Injury after injury. Season after season. Right when PSG needed him the most, Neymar was watching from the sidelines. Neymar's move to PSG was supposed to be the start of his reign. Instead, it became his curse. 6 straight seasons, the same story repeated itself. 2018, out in the round of 16. 2019, injured. Again. 2020, he finally reached the Champions League final, but PSG fell short. For all the money PSG spent, for all the talent Neymar had, one thing never changed: bad luck. And soon, the fans turned on him. What was once love became resentment. They didn't see Neymar as a savior anymore. They saw him as a mercenary, an overpriced luxury who never delivered when it mattered most. And then a new superstar emerged. PSG no longer needed Neymar. His time was running out. But where could he go next? Paris had turned its back on him. The fans wanted him gone. The club wanted a new direction. And Neymar? He was running out of options. There was no return to Barcelona. No Premier League rescue. No Champions League contender willing to take the risk. And then, the call came. €90 million. Al Hilal, the Saudi Pro League. A new beginning, or the final chapter. It wasn't Europe. It wasn't the Champions League. But Neymar told himself one thing: he could still be the star. He could still prove the world wrong. But then, the worst possible thing happened. This was never how it was supposed to end. The boy from Brazil who played like Ronaldinho, who was destined to succeed Messi and Ronaldo, who was meant to be the greatest, was now sitting on the sidelines, watching the football world move on without him. There was never any doubt about his talent. Neymar was magic. He was a showman. A player who could make you believe in the impossible. But football is cruel. Timing is everything. And for all his skill, for all his moments of brilliance, the one thing Neymar could never escape was bad luck. The world has already moved on. Mbappe, Holland, the new generation has arrived. Neymar should have been their rival. Instead, here's a question mark. What if? Will he come back to Europe? Will he have one last dance? Or is this the end? Maybe Neymar's story isn't over just yet. But one thing is for sure: football will never see another player like him again.